Walage! Good morning and welcome to Global Advanced Projects Cooking Show. We're excited because this morning we get to walk you through the most amazing, authentic Thai dish called Pad Thai. I have my helpers today, which is Noodle and Raylor, and they are the master chefs at this property. They provide food for everybody day in and day out. We are so thankful, and today they're going to help you make a really delicious meal. First off, I want to walk you through how to make the centerpiece of this dish, which is the tamarind sauce. First off, we use tamarind paste. If you don't have tamarind paste and you can only find tamarind juice, don't worry. You will have to heat it up though for a little while to help reduce it. But we want to use tamarind paste, oyster sauce, brown sugar, and fish sauce. Now I like to use equal parts, so let's just say 2 tablespoons of both, of all of them. And you want to mix that up and create this most amazing, delicious tasting sauce. It really covers all the taste buds. It's got your sweet, it's got your sour, it's your umami. There's heaps of flavour in it. Now we put that aside, and that we're going to use a little bit later. Now we want to start to cook. So we want to get our pans nice and hot, about a medium to high heat, and we want to take our onions and our garlic. Now it doesn't really matter how you want to cut your onions, just do it the way that's best for you. I like to have thicker onions, some people like to dice it really small. Crush the garlic, about 2 cloves, and just mince it as best as you like to. Wow, I can already smell it, these flavours are amazing. So it's just as soon as the garlic and onions start to change colour, what we want to do is we want to take our chicken and add it to the mix so we can brown the chicken. Raylor loves seafood, yes, so he's chosen prawns for his. But that's the beauty of this dish, it's versatile, you can have all that you like. As well as this dish can be quite a good dish for vegetarians because we do use tofu. You can take out the chicken and the prawns and you can still really enjoy it. So what we want to do is we want to try and brown the chicken and completely cook it with the garlic. The flavours and aromas are amazing together. They really combine well and give an authentic taste that we are so used to having living in Asia. Those prawns are looking amazing. Beautiful pink colour. As soon as the chicken's browned, what we want to do is push it to the side of the pan, and then we're going to cook the egg. So just make sure the heat is lowered a little bit at this point, and you want to crack an egg into the pan. You don't want them to cook together just yet. What we want to do is we want to cook the egg independently before we combine them. It's a super quick thing. Remembering, Thailand, we want to get in, order our food and get out really quickly. So this cooking time is really only just a couple of minutes. As soon as the egg is almost done, what we want to do is combine the egg and our shrimp or chicken and the onions and garlic together and just mix them really well. We want to just keep continuously binding them. As soon as that's done, we can add our tofu. Tofu also just needs a little time to cook, but not much time at all. It's super quick and super easy. And now we get to the Pad Thai flavour. So we're going to take our Pad Thai sauce, our rice Pad Thai noodle, and our bean sprouts, and we're going to add them together. Now if you can't get already soft Pad Thai noodles, what you've got to do is get the super dry ones. You've got to soak them for 5 minutes in boiling water, but don't leave them in there for too much longer. You need to rinse them with a colander and then place them in cold water where they can sit in your bowl. Remembering, we want it to just remain there for about 5 minutes before cooking, so only do this just before you start. Mix them all together, the Pad Thai noodles, the Pad Thai sauce, and the bean sprouts. And then you just want to toss it really well. Bring it back up to a medium to high heat, not too high, otherwise you'll burn. But the trick is, you want to keep the pan moving at all times. You don't want to let anything stick to the bottom. And we just want everything to be coated in the delicious sauce and have the garlic and onions that have caramelized beautifully just mixed with them. Now we're going to get to the very last part of our cooking, which is to add the crunch. We use crushed peanuts, which I really love. But if you have a peanut allergy, don't worry. You don't have to have it in there. But we add peanuts and then we add the chives. Now these are garlic chives. You can use onion chives if you want, but whatever just gives you that beautiful little bit of a bite, as well as just such a unique flavor. And then just mix it round. It really only needs another 30 seconds or something. And you mix it around. It is the most delicious, authentic Thai meal. Now we're going to come back to you and show you how to make an amazing egg omelette that we actually fold the pad thai into. It's a great creation. Now it's time for the egg treasure box. This is really going to help heighten the way that you cook, and it's going to make you look like a master chef at home. Basically, what we just want to do is heat up a pan, nice and medium heat. And then we can reduce it to a low heat once we add the egg. Low and slow is the key to this success. So basically take 2 or 3 eggs depending on the size of your pan. We're using 2 different size pans today so we can give you a variation depending on what you have at home. Basically whip up the egg so you can get some nice air into the egg, as well as just combining the yolk and the whites together. As soon as you've done that, drop that egg into the center of the pan and then swish it round. We just want to keep that pan moving until you've basically created a crepe over the entire lot. As you can see, Nella has held back a little bit of egg. That's smart sometimes in case you get a few holes in your mix and you just want to add some eggs to fill up those holes so it's a perfect crepe. Ray's got a small pan, so it's a lot easier for him. He just cracks 2 eggs and then lets them rest. The trick is to leave it sit there, nice and slow on heat, and just allow it the egg to brown underneath. We don't want to flip it and we don't want to turn it out. So basically, we just want the egg to cook all the way through. So it's got to be nice and slow. Get to this point and the egg's beautifully cooked all the way around, you can turn off the heat. It's time for plating. Take the pad thai and drop it into the center of your egg. And then what we want to do is the special part, which is starting to fold each side of the egg into the center to create a little pocket. Ray's got a smaller pan, so he's going to put his pad thai in the center of his dish. And then he's going to use his egg and put it on top, just to create a hidden surprise for the people that are going to be eating this dish. Sometimes it takes an extra pair of hands just to help to hold the egg together. Now this looks incredible. Now take the plate and turn it upside down onto the egg. And then it's a chance of just flipping it out. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. And it's perfect. Now we want to take a knife and we want to score an X through the center of the pad thai dish. And then we fold back each corner just to show us what's inside the treasure box. Again, this is something really fun for the kids to do. They get really excited and the presentation just looks beautiful, which means they're so proud of themselves after they've done it. It also means that everybody that gets served the dish, automatically, its mouth starts watering. It is so tasty, so delicious, and it looks so appetizing. So as you can see, Ray's put back the dishes. Now he took out his prawns, and that's for presentation's sake. So what you can do now is start adding around the outside the extra special condiments that we add onto the dish. So we've got chili powder for those who are brave, and it just adds a kick to it. Everyone here in Thailand loves to eat chili powder, probably too much sometimes. We add extra peanuts to the side just to give you that extra bit of crunch and taste. We still add the bean sprouts, and we have the garlic chives. Remembering, if you can't find garlic chives, it's okay. Use some spring onion, it is just the same as delicious. The very last thing you want to do is add a wedge of lime. This gives such a tang and it's amazing. What you do is, before you start eating, just squeeze out the wedge of lime over the whole dish and it brings the dish to life. The interesting part about pad thai is that it was made around 1930 and it was invented by the then president of the country, and he wanted to unite both China and Thailand together for the people who were living in the country. So he took Chinese noodles and he put in Thai flavors and he created this beautiful dish which is called pad thai, and everybody knows that in Thailand it's one of the dishes that everybody wants to go to when they come and order. Pick it up guys, it's time to eat. Now it's your turn to make it at home for your family, friends and your team. And then send us some photos and show us how exciting it was to make and show us your experiences. We want to see your dishes. Thanks very much guys, and we're so thankful to have you as part of this missionary trip to Thailand at 2021. Thank you for joining us.